the next level. Hopefully, with the experience, the confidence that he got from this 12 rounds, he will be able to find a way to get it to the next level. I don't think he's going anywhere, though. Look for him to be a future opponent for the kid that we seen earlier in the night, Teofimo Lopez. That young man at 21 years of age looks like he has everything right now to start becoming a headliner for Top Rank. So look for him. He's a lightweight. He's undefeated. He's with the same stable that Lomachenko fights with. Look at Lomachenko's got Gervonta Davis, who Mayweather tweeted this morning, Lee, he's ready to bring his guy back, or are you guys ready to see my guy again? Whatever the fuck he tweeted out there. Mayweather did throw Gervonta's name out there this morning. And then you got this kid who's on a come up big time. He's a Mexican kid. He's undefeated, got the looks, got the power. This is somebody that Lomachenko can wait around for. I'm going to tell you, another thing that we've seen in the last two fights with Jorge Linares is, I don't know, Lee, if it's been the weight that has caught up to him or the age, but he's starting to show signs of decline. Okay, you can call him pound for pound one of the best. I do not believe Vasily Lomachenko in his last two fights have proven that he's pound for pound the best in the world, meaning number one.
Or a Big Mac. Say it, Andrew. Or a Big Mac.
Yeah, give him a Big Mac.
Right? Would you make Vasily Lomachenko number one on any list you made?
You know I never had him that high because he doesn't have that many fights, right?
Right.
I'm not, so
against,
right.
Wait, hold on. Against anybody, Andrew. Like, yeah, he hasn't fought anybody that I would call elite level. The one time he steps up, he loses.
And we talked about that on Wednesday. He's missing his rival right now in his career. They need to find him someone where it's a 50-50 fight. Gervonta Davis is that guy, if they can build him. Mikey Garcia was that guy. He decided not to fight him. And now you have this kid, this young man, Teofimo Lopez, who's coming up. If Top Rank, they do a great job of getting belts for their fighters. If they can get this Lopez kid a belt before he faces Lomachenko and make this a unification match, they'll have something for Lomachenko late in his career. Like I said, Lee, at 33 years of age, the style that he brings, once that decline starts, it's it never gets better for these guys that rely on natural instincts to get them through the fight. Vasily Lomachenko relies on his natural gifts, right? His head movement, his timing. These things at this age, we know are going to start slipping. Well,
he's 87, for God's sakes. I mean, when are we going to actually? Well, look, I don't want to get into a pissing match. There's nobody for him to fight, so you make people go up and wait. I don't want to agree with Smith at all with the look at how tough Mikey is going up to fight Spence at a higher. Okay, bro, he didn't make that choice. Okay? That's how little you know about fucking boxing. There's no way Garcia was sitting around and thinking, hey, I know, I'm going to go up 2 weight classes because that's where the real money is. He gets paid the same, dick breath. I mean, there's nobody in this weight class, Andrew. They're not going to fight each other. This is why I hate boxing. It's why I get angry about boxing, because we've got the PBC. They've, tied up everything below welterweight. Literally everything below welterweight is owned by the PBC.
Like I said, he's in his 30s now.
There's nobody for him to fight. There's nobody for him to fight.
Well, Lee, if they were to match him with Gervonta Davis, I believe that sells good in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, 5,000. Look, okay, so or even Brooklyn. All right, I'll be fair. I think that fight works in Brooklyn too, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a one and done fight for a quote unquote living legend. Oh my God, we've never seen a fighter like this ever. He's the Matrix. He does so much shit. He's fucking amazing. You know what? I still haven't seen fucking amazing out of this guy yet. He hasn't, in the words of who was it? I'm sure it's one of the Rocky movies where he's like, the where you have it on like that. You haven't had that fight that's defining it. The Antonio Tarver speech, right? Where he goes, son, you ain't never been in deep water. You don't know what it's like to have somebody on you, and they're not getting off. Right. And Vasily hasn't been put in that, holy shit, he's in the deep end of the pool.
You haven't seen him matched up with the elite American or Mexican fighter. Orlando Salido was the close he came to. I believe he had a dozen losses that night when he beat him.
Salido was 60 in that match?
Yeah, that's what I'm... So Top Rank does a great job of building careers.
Right.
That's why I'm saying that Teofimo Lopez is a good fight here down the road. That's the matchup Bob Arum likes. He knows how to make money in this sport. The kid looks real. And he looks like he's the only thing in the lightweight divisions, like you said, Lee. Not too much going on there for Vasily right now.
Navarrete stuns Dog
shit.
To win the title. Emmanuel Navarrete beat the long odds and stun rising superstar Isaac Dog
shit.
By unanimously decisioning him to win the WBO junior featherweight with scores of 116-112 twice and 115-113. Reflected the action.
And to be honest with you, I might be mistaken. I don't even know if Teofimo Lopez is Mexican. He was born in Brooklyn. He might be Puerto Rican. Damn it. I didn't see that. He lives in Las Vegas right now, but his birthplace is Brooklyn, so I'm going to have to look up and see. He might be a Puerto Rican American, huh?
Andrew.
What?
Talk about my next prospect.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Bob.
Teofimo.
Let's do it.
Right, Teofimo Lopez?
Yes, sir.
He showed why at age 21 he is the sports rising star. He knocked out Mason Menard. You know Mason, right?
Seemed like a journeyman fighter. Been in
44 seconds, Andrew.
I know. Put him to sleep.
Fell face first. Went night-night.
Like a statue, though. The kid threw a jab. His jab stayed extended, Lee, all the way to the ground. And when he's on the ground, the jab is still extended. It's probably the knockout of the year. It reminded you of when I believe Hopkins knocked out Simon Brown in the corner. Remember Simon Brown hits the floor, his hands are still up, and he's throwing jabs? This kid threw a jab and then just went pause. His whole world just paused, and he went down. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Hey, he's lucky he hit a mat. If he hit the concrete, his face would not look the same this morning.
Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Did you see Alexander Vesputin?
No, I can't say that
one of my Oxnard, that whole...
Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't like to... I got in a little bit of trouble last week when I was talking about, smuggling in Ukraine.
Oh yeah. Of course, that's something. Yeah.
I didn't think that the ICE people, ICE baby, them. So Vanilla Ike showed up and said, "Hey, don't talk so openly about smuggling in Ukrainians." So I gave Vanilla Ice a couple of bucks.
Oh yeah, hey Bob,
to do that dance.
Yeah, sorry, Bob. Teofimo Lopez is Honduran. He's not Mexican. They better switch that up. They better put a triple.
Sputin last night, 12-0, 9 KOs.
Yeah,
he defended his USBA welterweight belt by unanimous decision, 100-88, over Juan Carlos Abreu. I know you're excited, right?
Yeah, not as excited about Lopez as I was going into this.
So I'm not going to talk about importing illegal Ukrainians anymore on this show, even though it's still happening. So they have to fight at least 40 times for me, then they can get their green card, and then they can go on to be hookers.
You're going to get in trouble for that one. Don't know if you can say that, Bob.
Where's your show script now that I've taken care of Bob's shit? Staying in Bob for too long actually starts to make me think that way.
You're so stupid.
Human trafficking's the way to go in life. Wow. I need more coffee. Hold on. If you guys think that Bob Arum's easy, I want you to guys talk with gravel in your throat for longer than 5 minutes and see how it goes. Which brings us to the main event of the evening. 4 rounds. You can't hear this, Andrew, but the entire HBO crew is crying in the background. They're very sad. And a big shout out to the fine people at HBO who gave us 45 years of boxing. And Andrew, I don't know. Andrew, I'm just really choked up for the HBO guys and everything they just hours of entertainment they provide. Andrew, I want to start thanking people. I'd like to thank my dog groomer, because if I didn't have my dog groomer, Andrew, then I wouldn't be able to have a pet that has groomed hair. I'd also like to thank my makeup girl, who's managed to make me look, this good for 45 years. I was there on the very first telecast. I'd like to thank Max, because on the final day of doing this, Max gave the performance of a lifetime through his laryngitis or his cried out voice or whatever bitchy thing.
Is that he was sick last night?
You think that was from crying?
No. I told you I didn't watch that shit.
Holy shit, dude! It was awesome.
I canceled HBO the day they told me they canceled the boxing
best
program.
Of the best part of this whole thing, Andrew,
well, you should have sent it to me.
Larry motherfucking Merchant. They dusted off the cobwebs. Jim, let me tell you a little story. I am reminded of a story by Mark Twain. He said, every boat has a journey. Every boat has an end. Or something like that. Jim, I was there when the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. I was there when gentleman Jack Johnson fought his first fight. Hell, I was there for Provision, Jim. But at this moment, I still want to say, fuck HBO for firing me for being a drunk fuck saying crazy shit. And if I was a man half my age, Floyd Mayweather would still kick my ass. There, see, I gave him a send-off, Andrew. What's the problem? Then they all took turns crying and reading their... First of all, Jim, I gotta say, everybody thanked Emmanuel Stewart, which, by the way, the show went downhill the day Stewart left. Went downhill. Fucking guy had to die to get away from you fuckers. I don't know how much money HBO had to throw.
You stop.
Look, I gotta say this, all right? I'm gonna, on a serious note. Jim Lampley was super nice to me when I was starting out. One of the very first interviews I ever did in boxing was Jim Lampley. I hope Jim rides off into the sunset so that I can remember the glory days of going to fights with meeting Jim Lampley and interviewing him and having, guns pulled out ringside and things like that. I want to remember those times, Andrew. The Lampley at the end, the butt kissing, the listening to whoever was the loudest voice and then parroting him, Jim Lampley, I didn't dig that shit. I think Jim literally phoned in the last 5 years.
So did boxing, yep.
I feel bad for Roy. That was a good gig for Roy. It was. Right?
Shit, at this point of his career, it's his only income.
No, he's got boxing promotions all over the country. Haven't we had this discussion?
Oh, come on, Lee. Whatever.
He's the king of ballroom boxing, bro.
Yeah, those kids, yeah. Those are really bringing in
he was just last
penny.
seen in Russia planning his next comeback fight. So, and you sending me over this thing that they're going to give... Okay, how much... Okay, let's just say this. How ugly and how fat and how shitty does Dan Rayfield have to be where Max Kellerman's going to get an ESPN2 show over Dan Rayfield. Like
Oh,
Dan
he's not-
Rayfield
Dan
is
Rayfield's not for TV. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
he's
not
not.
a TV. That's
He's-
not a
he's-
TV